Hello and welcome back to the second installment of the Major League Monster Jam update. I'm your host, Jackson Morris, and the time has finally come to reveal all 4 tours, lineups, and schedules in the exciting season of Major League Monster Jam. Let's jump right into it and start off with taking a look at our very first tour tonight, Arena Championship Series East. This series will make 8 stops, starting off in Toledo, Ohio on March 25th, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma on April 8th, Allentown, Pennsylvania on April 22nd, Newark, New Jersey on May 5th, Louisville, Kentucky on May 19th, and finishing off the tour in Chester, Pennsylvania on June 2nd. Some really great venues here. Allentown housing many great shows, and of course, we cannot forget the legendary Freedom Hall in Louisville. Not to mention a familiar venue to Sim Monsters as MLMJ heads to Subaru Park in Chester, Pennsylvania. The lineup for Arena Series East features Jack Merkel in Gravedigger, Trent Fung in El Toro Loco, Jack McCarthy in Scooby-Doo, Tenacity Bethke in the Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Connor Doherty in Velociraptor, Stephen Mason in Jurassic Attack, Giovanni Sell in Zombie, and Willie Hope in Stonecrusher. This field from top to bottom is filled with great drivers. Of course, you got the Sim Monsters veteran Jack Merkel inside the legendary Gravedigger, Trent Fung in El Toro Loco, but again, there are lots of new and familiar faces inside these trucks. Moving on to our next tour, Arena Championship Series West. They will be starting off in Salt Lake City, Utah on March 17th, then moving over to Tacoma, Washington on March 31st, Sacramento, California on April 14th, Fargo, North Dakota on April 28th, Denver, Colorado on May 12th, and finishing off the tour in Salinas, California on May 26th. Tacoma and Salinas will both house new and exciting track layouts that these arena drivers will be itching to drive on. Now it's time to preview the lineup for Arena Championship Series West. The lineup features Sean Ryan inside Gravedigger, Drew Darrow in Earthshaker, Bryce Henry in Dragon, Austin Dahlgren in the Monster Mutt Rottweiler, Ethan Evans in Megalodon, Levi S. in Just Get It Done 2, Robert O'Neill in Terminal Velocity, and Keith Hollis in Wildside. All of these competitors are going to have to be at the top of their game in order to come out the victor on Arena Series West. You know, you got guys like Sean Ryan, who is not only a Sim Monsters veteran, but a W&B veteran too. Then you got Drew Darrow behind the wheel of the Earthshaker, Austin Dahlgren as well, but also some potential underdogs like Ethan Evans and Robert O'Neill. Honestly, this series might be one of the more interesting for Major League Monster Jam this season. Stadium Championship Series Blue is definitely going to be one of the most competitive of the tours this season, as we have 12 drivers competing for that coveted series championship. This series begins in San Antonio, Texas on March 18th, then moving up to Houston, Texas on April 1st, Indianapolis, Indiana on April 15th, Indianapolis, Indiana on April 15th, Anaheim, California on April 29th, Minneapolis, Minnesota on May 13th, Detroit, Michigan on May 27th, New Orleans, Louisiana on June 10th, and finishing off the tour in Glendale, Arizona on June 27th. Now, the best part about this tour has to be the varying track styles. Most of the stops will be using the 2023 Stadium Series Blue layout. However, some stops like Houston and Minneapolis will feature all new styles that drivers have never competed on before. The lineup is completely stacked, as the tour will feature Brian Parker in Gravedigger, Travis Palm inside Son of a Digger representing the Hoonigan brand, Chris Bialik in Zombie, Trevor Hellings in the Lucas Stabilizer, Adrian Cooper returns to El Toro Loco after his impressive time during the preseason in Cincinnati, Tyler Richmond will be debuting the brand new Thunderosaurus monster truck, Magnus Birkeland in Avenger, Colt Durham in Megalodon, Jalen Stalker in Monster Mutt, Jaden H in Axe, Marcelo Mendoza in Bad Company, and Tyler May in Shaker. Now once again, you've got the Sim veterans, Chris Bialik, Adrian Cooper, and Tyler May, but we also have established names and some rookies that are new to the Sim Monsters scene. What I find most interesting is a lot of these so-called rookies, I would say, are more knowledgeable about the ins and outs of these WMB trucks, like Jalen Stalker and Brian Parker, compared to some of the others that I listed. But you gotta remember that some of these drivers have competed in Raw SES, which for sure helps them train for this upcoming series. Of course, you can't count out drivers like Tyler Richmond, and to be honest, the whole array of drivers on this tour could very easily take that series championship. Well, we have one more tour to cover, and I think we've saved the very best for last. Stadium Championship Series Red will start out in Oakland, California on March 26th, followed by Anaheim, California on April 9th, then St. Louis, Missouri on April 23rd, Miami, Florida on May 6th, Tampa, Florida on May 20th, Syracuse, New York on June 3rd, Atlanta, Georgia on June 17th, and finishing off in East Rutherford, New Jersey on July 1st. Like with Stadium Series Blue, some stops will differ from the paperclip layout, with those to be determined. The lineup for Stadium Series Red will feature Brandon Adam in Gravedigger, Blake Thompson in Max D, Julio Vellon Jr. in the Bakugan Dragonoid, I will be driving Megalodon, Tim Clapper in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Richard Rules in Soldier Fortune, Ethan Isaac in El Toro Loco, Danny Werewolf, the creator of WMB himself, will be inside the Black Pearl, Brad Curlin in Jester, Christian Lanude in Kraken, Colin Colliner in Vendetta, and Nick Tedrick inside the Blue Velociraptor. While Stadium Series Blue may be stacked top to bottom with talent, I think this series will be the one to watch. I mean, we have the greatest rivalry in motorsports, as Brandon Adam and Blake Thompson will once again fight tooth and nail all series long. Brandon and Blake are both the series points champions for their respective Raw SES tours, and they will be trying to come out as the points champion for Stadium Series Red in MLMJ. But it doesn't stop there, because I'll also be going up against drivers like Ethan Isaac, who kinda came out of the woodworks and surprised everyone during the preseason in Salt Lake City. Not to mention drivers like Tim Clapper, Julio Vellon Jr., Christian Lanude, and of course we can't forget the creator of WMB himself, Danny Werewolf, at the helm of the Black Pearl. Even if Brandon Adam and or Blake Thompson run away with the series points early on, I can say for sure that the rest of these drivers will be battling for points and better positions in this series standings all season long. Now, if you weren't selected in the draft, do not fear. All drivers who signed up during the sign-up dates on the MLMJ sign-ups forum on Sim Monsters will all be eligible to fill in for any driver on any series at any time. The order of which you signed up on that forum post will depend on the priority you are given. However, all fill-ins are given a priority over other drivers. For more information, please see the pinned priority fill-ins list in the MLMJ part of the Sim Monsters Discord, or contact an MLMJ official for more tour info. Well, that about does it for tonight's Major League Monster Jam update. Tune in this weekend on Monster Talk Gaming for Round 1 of Arena Series West and Round 1 of Stadium Series Blue this Friday and Saturday. Thank you everyone all so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time with another Major League Monster Jam update.